The next 30 heads of the zone girdling the Earth are under the zodiacal sign of Scorpio, and their seals have to be drawn in red color. Figure 235, Aluf, 1 degree Scorpio. This head is a protector of fire on our Earth. Everything connected with fire is completely revealed to the magician by this head, everything from the point of view of magic, electrical fluid, beings of the fire element, salamanders, as well as all inventions connected with the practical use of fire in the physical world. Figure 236, Shalua, 2 degrees Scorpio, is regarded as the original initiator into electricity. He has made man acquainted with electricity and has, during the course of time, caused certain individuals to make all kinds of inventions in this line. Since all the possibilities in electricity are still very far from having been exhausted, the future world will be delighted by many a new invention. A magician who has got into contact with this head, can already obtain details of all this, especially in respect of the relevant facts of magical science. The electric fluid, for example, will play a great role in every plane in the future, for it will be applied in most diverse ways. Figure 237, Hasparin, 3 degrees Scorpio. This head has inspired man and animal with the drive for self-preservation. He has rendered the animals appropriate means for protection by nature to defend themselves against dangers. He is the inspirer of animal instincts. Man has been caused by him to make a living by hard work, endurance and diligence. Therefore everything that induces man to go ahead comes under this head's competence. A magician allied with this head will be equipped with enormous powers, either by the head himself or by his subordinates, and he will even be able to transfer these powers onto other people, which will help to reach any aim at any time. Hasparum knows about many secrets concerning human intellect and would be quite willing to reveal them to the magician, depending on his maturity and development. Figure 238, Adai, 4 degrees Scorpio, is the protector of child love, motherly love and parental love, and of everything that keeps a family together. Assisted by this head, the magician is able to deal with any quarrel or discord in the family. Adai is quite prepared to teach the magician how to eliminate any quarrel by acquiring diverse practices. Figure 239, Helmes, 5 degrees Scorpio, everything connected with milk on this earth, in respect of man as well as animal, falls under the competence of this head. He protects all nurses and all mothers who suckle their babies. All mammals on earth are protected by this head. The range of his competence is very wide. During the course of time he has taught man to use milk as nutrition. Inspired by this head, man has learned to use the milk gained from animals not only as a drink, but also for the manufacture of dairy products. Helmes has inspired man to introduce a milk diet for certain kinds of diseases and to produce from milk various types of medicine. Many things connected with the working up of milk, which will not become known to the public until the distant future, may now be revealed to the magician by this head. Figure 240, Sarasi, 6 degrees Scorpio, is the original initiator of all human ideals, no matter whether ideals of the physical, astral or mental world are concerned. Depending on the maturity and development of mankind, this head controls, by his subordinates, the most diverse ideals of each individual and causes situations and possibilities for the realization of an ideal in the mental, astral or physical world to a small or large extent. Sarasi supplies man with the appropriate enthusiasm and the endurance for the realization of the ideal in question in accordance with one's maturity and fate. This head, too, may teach the magician a great deal, for instance, how various ideals are born in our world and how they decay again. Furthermore, Sarasi will tell him about ideals which will not come up until the distant future. Figure 241, Uj-Efa, 7 degrees Scorpio. This head controls the intellect of man and directs all his intellectual faculties. Depending on man's maturity and development, he makes him acquainted with certain facts of knowledge. This also depends on the commission which man has been charged with to fulfill on this earth. Ush-Efer entrusts the magician with the manner by which human intellect can be enlightened and how he can acquire an extraordinary memory. All that knowledge that can be grasped with the human intellect is made accessible to the magician by this intelligence. Figure 242, Armili, 8 degrees Scorpio, protects man against all infectious diseases and causes him to look after himself, so that he is at any time able to resist infection. If karmic reasons make it necessary, or if it lies in one's fate, this head will not prevent an infection. Armili teaches the magician many means of protection against the most diverse types of infectious diseases from the magical point of view. Since there exists also the possibility of mental or astral influence, Armili also instructs the magician in this respect. He teaches him how to protect himself, after having been made acquainted with special magical practices, against negative astral influences and against influences of negative beings. Figure 243, Rana, 9 degrees Scorpio. All people dealing with spiritual knowledge are protected by this head against obsession or any other accompanying unfavorable psychic factors. This head has at his disposal the most diverse methods which make communication with the unseen of any sphere possible. He acquaints the magician with the special practices of mental and astral traveling and teaches him special ways of elevating his astral and mental bodies into the various spheres. The magician can therefore regard this intelligence as inspirer of various magical practices on the path to perfection. Figure 244, Karasky, 10 degrees Scorpio, protects and inspires all human beings occupied with medical magnetism. Karasky shows the magician many methods in magical medicine, whether a transfer, vitalized life magnetism or prana treatment are concerned. He learns these things without taking any risks. Whole volumes could be written on the range of competence of this intelligence. 1 ton depends, however, on the magician's will whether he wants to be inspired by this head and get first-hand information. Figure 245, Irilia, 11 degrees Scorpio, will convince the magician that the making of the philosopher's stone is no allegory and no symbolic esoteric speculation. The magician learns from this head the preparation of the philosopher's stone in its most diverse grades for the most various purposes. Furthermore, he will be told the methods of transmuting metals, especially by dry procedure. The person to some extent informed on alchemy will already perceive what is meant by this. The preparation and realization of the philosopher's stone rests on many methods. Irilia can entrust the magician with these. Figure 246, Sagara, 12 degrees Scorpio, is the initiator of all magicians. The magician who has got into contact with Sagara gets valuable instruction on how to influence man and animal in the magical as well as the quabalistic, manner. Figure 247, Trasarim, 13 degrees Scorpio, Sun is life. Man has been inspired with this idea by this head. He has allowed mankind to make inventions during the course of time which have brought the use of the power of the sun. The magician is taught by Trasarim to use the rays of the sun by application of colored filters for various medical methods. This intelligence may therefore be regarded the initiator into the color light treatment. Medicines which are influenced by the colored light of the sun, in analogy to the universal laws, show a better quality and capacity and have a better dynamic effect than medicines produced in the normal way. This head entrusts the magician with many magical methods by which the colored light of the sun cannot only be applied for medical purposes and for dynamizing medicines, but which can, on top of that, be used for the most diverse magical operations. Figure 248, Shaligo, 14 degrees Scorpio, is a master of imitation in this physical world. He has, for instance, taught man how to imitate gems. The invention of glass, china, artificial leather, rubber and many other synthetic artificial products is due to the inspiration of this head. Assisted by Shaligo, the magician can foresee in the Akasha which human inventions are yet to come in respect of the art of imitation and will, no doubt, agree that the reservoir of inventions is limitless. Under the seal of secrecy, This intelligence will also entrust the magician with the methods of their production. Figure 249, Hippolopos, 15 degrees Scorpio. All games serving the entertainment of people of all races originate from the inspiration of this head, and Hippolopos will remain being the initiator of all games for young and old in the future for jokes, bets, sport events, etc. This head is also the initiator of all toys for children. Card games and other social games are, of course, also under his competence. Figure 250, Natulisa, 16 degrees Scorpio, is the protector of the bees. He has taught man the art of apiculture and how to use honey. In the oldest days people had no sugar. They therefore used honey instead. By Natulisa's inspiration man learned to produce various kinds of sweets from honey. Later, when the raising of bees no longer sufficed to cover the need for sweetening material, Natulisa again caused man to win sugar from other substances and made him find sugarcane in the Orient and sugar beet in the lands with a less favorable climate, and these products have since served as the raw material for the making of sugar. The magician may hear many interesting things about the production of sugar or other sugar-like substances, which so far have not been known to man. He may further be willingly told about the treatment of diseases which are caused by the lack or excess of sugar in the organism. Figure 251, Butter Rush, 17 degrees Scorpio. It is the job of this head to cause man not only to eat fruits in their raw state, but also to process and tin them. He has taught man, during the course of time, to prepare dishes by the help of the fire element, i.e., by roasting, baking, stewing, etc. Furthermore, to bake bread, to make sweets, to find new meat dishes, and he has led man up to the present achievements of the art of cooking. Butter Rush is therefore rightly called the initiator into the art of cooking and baking. Figure 252, Tagora, 18 degrees Scorpio, is a master of erotic love. He is responsible for the raising of sympathetic feelings between man and woman and maintaining them. This head gives the magician special instructions on how to make oneself loved by men and women, how to evoke a person's sympathy, and if desired, how to achieve peace in the family, etc. Tagora also knows many magic means to evoke love, and he can also inform the magician about these. Figure 253, Panari, 19 degrees Scorpio. Metallurgic chemistry falls under the competence of this head. He has taught man to gain various metals from ores, has helped him with the recognition of the various metallic elements, has taught him to produce metal amalgams, etc. Panari has at his disposal various recipes for the working up and amalgamating of metals, and also the decomposition of metals into various chemical products, synthetic substances and medicines. This intelligence will entrust the magician with an almost unlimited number of secrets in this connection. Figure 254, Nagar, 20 degrees Scorpio, similar to Panari, this head, too, will teach the magician to make various medicines from the most diverse types of metals and their combinations. Nagar is a great inspirer of all medicines which can be produced by synthetic procedures. A magician can increase his knowledge, if he allows Nagar to teach him in which way certain metals can be used for medicinal purposes. Figure 255, Kofan, 21 degrees Scorpio. He who open-heartedly refers to this head will have all wishes fulfilled as far as is possible to him. His speciality is to change bad living conditions into good ones and to procure man's contentment. He informs the magician of ways and means by which he can better his own living standard and tells him to what extent his fate is karmically conditioned and to what extent divine providence allows any interference. Since the magician is, for the most part, master of his own fate, it will usually be the fates of other people which the magician will want to ameliorate with the help of this head. Figure 256, Shaluach, 22 degrees Scorpio. This head is equipped with almost the same faculties and powers as the before-mentioned one. He renders man advice and assistance by intuition in even the most difficult situations of life where, under normal conditions, there is no possibility of escape. This intelligence finds the right remedy in every situation and lets the magician know about it by intuition. Figure 257, Sipil 23 degrees Scorpio, is regarded as a special head of the zone girdling the earth, since he can teach the magician the power of faith and the power of conviction. Having acquired these two divine faculties, the magician is capable of producing the greatest wonders in the mental, astral and physical world. Sipil advises the magician on how to reach quickly and safely the power of faith and the power of conviction. Figure 258, Tdia 24 degrees Scorpio, is an excellent expert in diagnosis as well as in analysis and can teach the magician all causes of diseases in the mental, astral and physical body. At the same time he can make him acquainted with means which remove the causes of disease and disharmony. The magician interested in medicine can acquire such a great deal of knowledge from Tdia that he is able to become an expert in diagnosis and medical treatment. Figure 259, Samekl 25 degrees Scorpio. This head, too, initiates the magician in all the methods of natural medicine, no matter whether herbs, water treatment, care of the body or other methods applied in natural medicine are concerned, or such items which up to the present have remained completely unrevealed. Figure 260, Radina, 26 degrees Scorpio, is a special expert in Tchi, i.e. Quabella, and all Tchek methods for healing on this planet are subject of his competence. He knows how the severest diseases can be cured by Quabella. He entrusts the magician with many Quabbalistic formulae for the curing of severe diseases, so that the magician may compile a whole book of formulae for his personal use. If the magician wants it, he will be trained by Radina in curing people by miracles, i.e. by the help of Quabella. Figure 261, Hakamel, 27 degrees Scorpio, is an excellent astronomical expert and an expert in orientation. He has taught man to look up to the stars and to fix the cardinal directions by their constellations. This knowledge was formerly of especially great value in navigation. Hakamel is also the original initiator of the compass and the magnetic needle, without the knowledge of which navigation would be impossible. In the course of time this head will cause man to find other powers and inventions which will help him with his orientation. All the measuring devices for measuring the depth of the sea and pressure of water fall under the competence of this head and will also be basically reformed in the future. Figure 262, Hanadi, 28 degrees Scorpio, is a specialist in hydrotherapy. Like the 30th head of the zodiacal sign of the Libra called Megalogai, Hanadi, too, is responsible for all methods of water treatment. He teaches the magician how to use the electromagnetic fluid in connection with water for treating the most various diseases. He also shows him how to remove the causes of diseases by thermic stimulants and to create the dispositions of harmony and health in the human body. This head informs the magician about many methods of hydrotherapy which so far have remained unrevealed, provided the magician is interested in this field. Figure 263, Horacial, 29 degrees Scorpio, controls all artificial water regulations on our Earth. He inspires man how to make use of the powers of water, how, for instance, to install an artificial irrigation of the soil, or how to let water work artificially, according to his wish, in a riverbed. Horacial is the inspirer of the most simple water mills as well as the most up-to-date hydroelectric power stations, of the canals built for shipping, and the like. He entrusts the magician with many novelties concerning water regulation and the use of waters in the distant future. Figure 264, Ermino, 30 degrees Scorpio. Every creature living in the water comes under the competence of this head. If, for instance, the magician is interested in fishing, he can be given appropriate methods by Ermino by the application of which he can cause fish to gather at a certain place in order to catch them without difficulties, or by which he is able to tame and control fish in such a manner that they will allow him to take them into his hands. In short, every animal living in the water, no matter whether sea serpent, crocodile or shark, is under his power.